Hey everybody, I hope y'all are doing well. We are a little beyond the midway of the semester already, if you can believe it. I believe we're in week 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, we are finishing up week 9. So we are a little over halfway in the semester. So I just wanted to send some kind of midway, points and dates coming up and assignments and stuff like that. So January's already gone, right? February's already gone. March is pretty much already gone. You submitted, you're applying your knowledge on the 12th. And so we're empty for the next couple weeks, nothing to do. By April 2nd, you need to post a strategy to the discussion board, and I will show you where in just 1 second. And then by the 9th, you need to post a response to the strategy, also on the discussion board. But remember, these should be posted separately. I will show you in just 1 second on the discussion board. You post your strategy, you post your response, okay? Do not post your response in where you post your strategy, okay? And I will get right back to that in a minute. Then on April 23rd, you will need to make sure that your CT has completed I think on live text, and I'll show you also that in just 1 second. I think it's called the final evaluation rubric or something like that. So they need to complete that by the 23rd. Okay, and then by April 30th, you need to submit your timesheet, and I do have that posted for you as an assignment. You also need to submit your hours into live text. Okay, you need to submit your timesheet both places. And the reason for that is because we use live text as our, data collection system for our accreditation purposes. So we just went through this whole big accreditation purposes for the School of Education, where the steering committee is what Dr. Johnston called it. We'd be meeting and we would say, oh, we need data from fall 2019. So we would go into live text and pull that data. Okay, so the timesheet is for state verification purposes and also for our accreditation purposes and also for a very small part of your grade for this class. Okay, and then that's it. So I can give you, I think on the timesheet, I give you until May 4th at the very, 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 very latest, because my grades are due by May 5th. So if for some reason, I know some of you had some placement changes, I know some of you had some COVID issues with your CT or, one of your family members or something being in quarantine. So the very latest I can push your hours, everything is May 4th. Okay. So again, nothing else due for the rest of this month. So now, really focus on getting your hours in and, getting a good chunk of those done. Then April 2nd, the strategy posted to the discussion board. April 9th, response to one person strategy. Just read one and respond to it. And then by the 23rd, the CT should fill out their dispositions, which is also called, again, I think final evaluation rubric or whatever it's called. I'll show you in a second. And then your timesheet, ideally by April 30th. But if you need a few extra days, you can have until May 4th. All right, so let's go into, let me show you Blackboard. So on Blackboard, under the assignments tab, okay, go over here under assignments. Here's your timesheet. Okay, so it's right there. It's the first one you'll see. You will upload it here. This CT does need to sign it. So figure out how y'all are going to do that. Okay, so make sure you put your name, your school, supervising teacher, your date, arrival time, departure time, and your teacher's signature. Yes, the CT does need to sign every line. Then you need your hours total, and your CT needs to sign off on that as well. Okay, so if your CT has an electronic signature like I do, you could just do that. And you can Google how to insert an electronic signature. That's what I had to do, to be honest. Or else you can, fill it out. You can print it out blank, then fill it out. You can fill it out on the computer, then print it out, have them sign it, scan it back, or whatever works. But again, I need this timesheet needs to be submitted into Blackboard, right here as an assignment. You will also, again, track your hours in live text. All right, I'm going to go to live text after I show you the discussion board. Okay, so then over here for April 2nd, your strategy, that will go right here under discussion. So if you click on it, okay, teaching strategy post, teaching strategy response. So share your experience this semester by describing one teaching strategy used during your practicum. in which you adapted. And yeah, you don't really have to do this part about the technological. Just tell me a strategy that you used, that your CT used, that you saw another teacher use. If you're virtual, maybe you found something really cool virtually. Okay, so a strategy that you saw somebody, hopefully your CT, use in relation to teaching students with learning disabilities in math. Okay, what did they do? And try to tie it into some of those practices, those effective instruction practices, some of those universal design for learning in 763, which we haven't gotten to yet. But if you're in that class, thinking about adaptation, stuff like that. Okay, then you will also post a response. So thinking about a post that somebody else made. Oh, I could see myself using that in this way, blah, blah, blah. And if you want, for your response, if you want to branch out and think about, oh, well, how could you maybe use something like that for another content area, right? How could you use something like blah, blah, blah for the content area of science or for something, as long as it relates to teaching students with disabilities. All right. So for your post, and I don't think I said this in the syllabus, so try to remember, it really helps me out if you just kind of put like your last name, post, Fries, comma, post. Then down here for your response, you would put Fries, comma, response. If you forget, no big deal. But again, it just helps me. It just helps me a little bit. I will only grade your initial posts that are posted here, and I will only grade responses that are posted here. Okay, so you need to go here, you post here for your post, right, for your actual first post, then you go here for your response. If you respond up here, I will not grade it. And that is for your benefit. I know you don't think it is, but it is, because otherwise, I think there are, 40 of you, 47 of you. The numbers change all the time. I'm not even going to lie. Things get buried. So posts get buried. So that's why I want you to only post your one post here and your one response here. Okay. Hopefully I am clear about that. I will not grade responses to somebody else's that you put here. No, your post here, your response here. Okay. Okay. All right. I think that's everything for the catalog or the calendar. Ugh, the calendar. You can tell I have faculty governance stuff on my mind. So the strategy posted again by April 2nd, the response by April 9th, the dispositions rubric, which I'm going to show you, that's by April 23rd. And then remember your timesheet by, let me show you. I think I put, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this. Yeah, by May 4th. So if you need until May 4th, go ahead and take that, but I need it by then because again, my grades are due on Wednesday, May 5th. All right, so now let's go into live text. And I have to tell y'all, you're going to laugh, and I know some of you know this. I didn't put these sheets in live text, so I've never been able to see them until today. I had to get like special access to see them. So I had no idea what was posted on live text. Again, this is one of our data collection courses, so we need certain pieces of evidence for these courses. Yeah, I hadn't seen them until today. So some of you have been asking me, and I said, I don't really know. Let me get back to you. So I'm getting back to you. Okay, so on live text, there is the, hold on, I'm trying to see if I can see it without sharing too much. Hold on. Let me see if I can see what it's called. Yes, okay, so the midterm one is called Midterm CT Evaluation Rubric. And then the final one is the final CT evaluation rubric, right? Exactly the same things. And one of your classmates actually suggested, well, maybe the CT could fill out the one that says midterm, after they observe the first lesson, and fill out the one that says final after they observe the second lesson, which is a fantastic idea. If your CT has not filled out the midterm or the final one, maybe encourage them, say, oh yeah, you can watch my first lesson and then do the midterm evaluation rubric. You can watch my second lesson and then do the final CT evaluation rubric. If your CT has already filled out the midterm and or the final one, do not make them do it again, okay? Whatever they have is fine. Whatever they based it on is fine. So do not make your CT do anything again, okay? It was just a suggestion, and that I will implement for the next time I teach this course. I tried to make it, I think I told y'all, I tried to be with the uncertainty this semester and everything virtual, not virtual, halfway virtual, and some days virtual, but only every second Tuesday are they virtual. But then every third Thursday, they're face-to-face. You all know. So I tried to make it as easy on both you and your CT, to be honest, as possible. And I think I did kind of shoot myself in the foot and make it too easy. So I will also change that next semester, because I'm sure some of your CTs and some of you all are probably saying, what am I doing? I did so much work in 746 and now I'm like not doing anything. And I know that, and you are certainly welcome to teach more than the 2 that I have in the syllabus. Again, I was really just trying to, think about how challenging this semester could be. So please explain to your CTs that I see the error in my ways, and it will not be as easy as this in the future, but it won't be as hard as it used to be. So anyway, so the final CT evaluation rubric. So this is what I mean in the syllabus where I say the dispositions rubric. Okay. So they're going to fill out their subject, their grade level. Some special ed is, they could do 10th grade and special ed, I think. I'm not 100% positive, but here's some of the attendance, attended as agreed upon, stopped attending, never attended at all. That is not good. I will look at these to make sure, you have attended and all those other things. Professional attributes: attends regularly, is punctual, responds positively, and follows oral written directives, completes assignments, and that they might not know. And it's okay for them to check NA. It really is. If they don't know it, it's okay. Dresses and grooms appropriately, even if you're virtual, y'all. I know some of you are virtual. At least from the top up, you still need to be professional and appropriate. Okay. Do not show up in I don't even want to go there, because who knows what would come out of my mouth. So just make sure you are professional and appropriate. Shows initiative. Ask, hey, could I teach another lesson? Hey, could I go observe another teacher? Could I do this? Could I do this? Try to get out of it as much as you can. Knowing that the actual requirements for this course are pretty easy, right? So get those 30 hours in, but use those 30 hours to your advantage. You don't have to spend time teaching 10 lesson plans or whatever. And that's nothing against Dr. Murphy's class. Please don't take it that way. But, use that time where normally you would be implementing your own lesson plans. Use it to gain more knowledge and understanding, especially about teaching math. Recognize personal strength and weakness, seeks opportunities to grow professionally, et cetera, et cetera. And then this part down here is really where your CT could look at your lesson, or look at your, what you teach, whatever it is that you teach, whether it's something they give you, whether it's a scripted lesson from our textbook, whatever, or that's for 763. And I know, I think there's one of you who is not in 763 this semester, but you might still have the textbook. So, here's where they can really observe your kind of teaching ability. Are you demonstrating a positive impact on student learning, creating a safe and supportive learning environment, and establishes high and appropriately challenging students for all P12 students, establishes positive rapport and or appropriate partnerships. And again, looking at the students, it doesn't have to address every single one of these points, right? Maintains confidentiality of students, families, and colleagues. So for the final form, this is where I will really look at the recommendation. Do they recommend you? Do they recommend you with reservations, or do they say, nope, this student is not ready for student teaching? Okay, I will look at that, and this will play a role in your final grade. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Again, this is on live text. It's called the CT, or the final CT evaluation rubric, right? Isn't that what I just said? Y'all know I forget. Final CT evaluation rubric. On the calendar, it is called the CT dispositions rubric. Okay, and on the syllabus, it's called the CT dispositions rubric. Same thing. Again, if they have already completed, either the midterm or the final, do not ask them to do it again. Okay. If they have not, maybe give them the suggestion, do the midterm for lesson 1, do the final one for lesson 2. All right. And then remember, your timesheet is also posted under the assignments tab, and the discussion board is open for both your response and, my bad, for your post, your initial post, and your response. Caught myself. Got y'all. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Hope everything is going well. And that's pretty much it for the rest of this class. So this will most likely be, I know you're going to be sad, the last recording for this class, unless I do another one towards the end, just kind of saying, make sure you submit everything. because I will be the one freaking out, not you. All right. Have a great rest of the day, a great rest of the week, and I will, be in touch in a few weeks.